Hello, friends. Welcome to The Style Adjacent. I'm your host, Randi Rivera, joined by my co-host, my husband, Frank Rivera.
Hello, podcast world.
We have a mantra here at TSA: style supersedes fashion and trend, full stop. It's a way of life, it's a mindset, it's an overall attitude. This theory creates connection within the genres of wearables, music, art, interiors, food and fare, as well as culture and community. The Style Adjacent is built on this concept, and that our platform fuels this passion by introducing and celebrating this alignment with individuals discovering their curated journey, because with style, everything is adjacent. So today's guest on The Style Adjacent is the incredibly talented and undeniably delightful Lori Lamont. Lori exudes warmth and love not only through her persona, but also her gorgeous paintings. She is a self-taught artist, working out of her beautiful studio in Long Beach, California, and working exclusively in watercolor. Lori creates breathtaking pieces that don't portray the traditional fodder depicted in the medium, nor utilize the typical shades and hues. When tradition says muted tones, Lori depicts saturated, rich, brilliant color. When the traditionalists say art buyers love a small-scale landscape painting, Lori creates a 2-panel, 20-foot-long depiction of Audubon-style deer in various states of movement, covered in logos of luxury as well as everyday brands. Prada, Lamborghini, not to mention Burger King and the Texaco logo, to name a few. Lori doesn't do traditionalists. She does big, bold, beautiful paintings that are a juxtaposition. Through them, she feeds us a meal of hearty, satisfying images of gorgeously meticulous flora and fauna, then satiates our need for a sweet treat by throwing in modern pop culture, fashion, and big business references. Creating a delicious dichotomy for our eyes and for our minds. Lori creates her incredible works utilizing every square inch of her immense heart. That could not be more evident than in the last 5 years when she devoted her time during the dreaded COVID epidemic to create small-scale pieces, one a day, of everyday quarantine life, featuring loved ones, social media creations, and, of course, lots of snacks. Offering the sweet works at a very reasonable price point, might I add. Hello. Most recently, she surrendered a sweet forever moment of reflection and remembrance to those struggling with the loss of their entire livelihood and sometimes more. She created watercolor paintings of individuals and families' homes and businesses that were lost in the Palisades and Eaton fires this past year. This gesture, all done gratis, was widely received and adored and provided incredible healing to the victims and was featured and celebrated on multiple social media platforms. TSA listeners, please give a very warm welcome to my friend, accomplished artist, and beautiful human, Lori Lamont.
Yeah.
Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for those kind words.
Of course. Lori is, I'm trying to think, we've known each other probably since 2014, maybe 2013, around there.
Yeah, right around there.
Another, because we had Corey and Lindsay on, and they were another friendship built in Long Beach through Blue Windows fame. Mm-hmm. So that is how I met Lori too. So when did you discover your talent as an artist? Because you're self-taught.
I'm self-taught. I've always done art.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and sister and I, we spent all of our free time just sitting at the table and coloring and painting. But in elementary school, when people would ask what I wanted to be, I always said an artist.
Oh yeah,
always. And then my family was like, "That's nice.
That's cute.
You're really good at it." But of course, you have to decide what you're going to do to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God darn it, really? Like, you're kidding me. So then I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm going to invent paints because I really wanted to be in this world. And I spent a summer with like talcum powder, different colors, and I'm painting with Q-tips. And I'm like, I'm going to invent something. But I always wanted to be an artist. So when we had to do, art for projects at school, my drawings always got up on the board. And if for whatever reason they didn't, all my classmates would be like, "You were robbed. How did they not put yours up there?"
Oh wait, they didn't make it.
If for some reason,
if they didn't, okay, I got you.
Other kids' artwork was up on the wall in the class, and mine wasn't. My classmates were like, how did this happen?
It was rigged. It was
Yeah.
rigged.
They just wanted to give somebody else a chance.
I know. And in 6th grade, that was still elementary school, our whole 6th grade, cohorts did this big film project. It was a remake of Robin Hood. So the whole project was writing the script, acting, trying out, filming. All the kids did the film, did the lights, and I was in charge of all the sets. And I could choose my helpers. And so I was in the credits as, like set design, Lori Lamont.
Oh
and
my
I was like,
gosh.
I am off to the races.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
But now you had said you worked with, experimentation and talcum powder and kind of, playing around, and you thought you were going to invent something. What made you choose watercolor? Because that is, in my mind, when someone says watercolors, I think like super traditional landscape ones. It's just not...
It's
not
funny.
always super interesting. I know there's tons of watercolor artists out there like yourself that are really interesting. But why watercolor?
I used to, Christmas, birthdays, I always asked for art supplies. And so I got to know them all. But watercolor was the cheapest, the easiest. And then when I was on my own, I could easily get a little watercolor palette and paper. And honestly, it's not that I fell in love with it, but I really did fall in love with it. And because I didn't know any rules, I just did anything I wanted to do. And in all honesty, I'm not a huge watercolor fan.
Yeah.
That's not the artwork that I gravitate toward.
Yeah.
So I always want to put a disclaimer, like when people say, "Oh, well, what medium do you use?" And I'm like, watercolor, but
But let me explain.
yeah,
Hold on.
super saturated.
Yeah.
So it just came from, I was on my own and I could afford watercolors. And then little by little, I was like, I want to try this more expensive tube. Oh my God, I'm going to get a tube of watercolor instead of a little palette. And then it was like, I'm going to get sheets of paper instead of like a little pad. And it just started,
Growing.
domino effect.
Yeah. That's so cool. When did you realize you had kind of turned a corner and you knew this could be, like, you could do this to make a living?
Gosh, I was dating my husband. So I'm trying to think what year it was. It was probably 1994. And I was painting at the kitchen table and I wanted to paint something for his mom. And it was kind of large scale and I loved it. And she was a designer and she had designer friends. And one of the designer friends had a showroom in, the Big Blue Whale? What is the Pacific?
Laguna Beach?
Oh,
It's in
Long Beach.
It's in LA. It's the Pacific Design Center.
Oh, sure. Okay.
yeah.
And had a showroom and said, let's take a few of these pieces and see what they do. And I swear to God, they sold in like days.
Oh
and I was
my
like, you know
gosh.
what? Maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
Which led me to do another one and then another one. And then we'd go to this restaurant, Cafe Camellia in, I think, Bellflower, which I never heard about in my whole entire life. But it was their family restaurant. And I asked, hey, would you be interested in having my artwork in this? Because I had enough, and I thought, that would be fun.
Yeah.
And every Saturday, I'd get a call. Oh, we sold this one. Can you supply something else? Wow. And little by little, I would just talk to people, and they were like, oh, yeah, I know Cafe Camellia. I was like, what the heck? You do? Oh, my God. So once I started selling out of that, I was just like, okay, let's start creating.
It's on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So then what does that process look like? Like, what is... from not start to finish, but do you get a concept? Because I know that you work with a lot of logos, but you also do I guess maybe I should backtrack a little. How would you describe your work to someone who either might not be familiar with it, which is unfortunate, but that's why we're here so that they can, or that they see it and they might not really understand?
I would guess I would describe it as very large scale, saturated pop art, modern painting. And sometimes people don't want to call watercolor painting. They want to call it sketching or watercolor. But it's painting.
For sure.
And super sharp lines. You know, when you're on the phone, if you're doodling, I have this thing, and I think it's super common, to want to do arrows, and I have to make it just as sharp as I possibly can.
Okay.
And that's how I kind of approach the painting. It's got to be as sharp and tight as I can possibly make it. I get sort of obsessed with the lines. But I start with lists. I'm an avid list maker.
Okay.
And that's where I will write my list on a piece of paper. I'll type it in my notes. And I think in terms of themes, I love to categorize. I love to organize. It's my passion. When I was in high school, my closet was organized by color.
What sign are you? Are you
Taurus?
Oh. I didn't know Tauruses were super. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to horoscopes. But I was like, I'm a Virgo. I'm the organized one to a certain extent. But you've got that beat. Anyway, sorry to segue.
Oh no. So I start with a list, and then I am starved for images. So I start collecting. Oh my God, my phone has a ridiculous amount. I used to go to the bookstore constantly, get magazines, and tear. And I really didn't like to go on the internet because I was just like, well, I want to hold it in my hand, art books. But that's where it starts. And then I start going, bing, 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 bing. Yes, this hits. Yeah. And so I kind of think in terms of collage. So I will take this element when I don't have live models. So when I would do like portraits, I would go, I'm looking for a hand that looks in this position. Now how are these legs crossed? And sometimes I take pictures myself, but I really obsessively love to look at images and be like, yes, this is the foot, this is the hand, this is whatever. And that's how I build. I think of themes. That's my series, and I get super charged with the series. And then I just start collaging in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Something stands out too when she was saying that she likes to, like, when you said you like to tear pages and like have it in your hands. The first word that came to my head was analog. Like you do it in an analog fashion, which is like what Johnny was talking about too. Another artist who was like, I work
tangible. You want to see something?
Yeah, you want you want to touch, you want to feel the texture.
Yes,
yeah, that's really cool. Yes. And I wonder if that's like an artist thing too. Not necessarily just visual art, but like artists he's also a DJ, and so he works strictly with vinyl. And he was saying it's because you want to have the thing in your hand.
I love the thing,
which is cool.
Yeah.
So the first introduction for me to your work was that large scale, and I know I have the name of it pulled up, but you'll remember it better than I do. The 20-foot one of the deer. It's okay. Look, I have it. It is. I'm going to think of it.
I'm always asking Monty, what's the name of this painting that I did again?
It was in the under the influence category. So she has a category of paintings, a handful of paintings, and these are all large scale because I've seen a number of these like in the flesh, and they're all really large pieces of work. So the 2-panel one is Camp Life in the Woods and Tricks of Trapping. So, and we'll show images too. We'll kind of splice those in here, but and we could talk about Under the Influence as a collection as well. And this one was the first one that I was familiar with, and it really resonated with me as a style person, as a fashion person working in that industry for my whole life, to see these beautiful birds and butterflies and very realistically done. And like you said, very sharp, very clean, very crisp, but juxtaposed with these brands that I knew, like, beautiful birds, like soaring over the Dior logo. Like, it's just, it's so fun. But it makes you think. Like, it really is a painting and a series of paintings that make you think, what what do you want the person that's visualizing these or seeing these in person? What's your thought process?
Well, my first thought process is life is a pageant. And, as kids, we grow up with cartoons and there's a lot of animals and, fancy. So I think of it as like an absolute pageant of grandeur. And so there's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of pop art. We are really connected to advertisement emotionally. I know I am. And years and years ago, I was a nanny to 4 kids for a short period of time. And I really never spent time with kids. My gosh, when we would buy a little thing of shampoo or toothpaste, these little babies fought over who was going to get to hold it. And it was like, it was the packaging. I was like, oh, I so get this. Like, it shocked me because I never thought about it that way, but that's how we think about it now. So I'm going to read my note really quick anyway. So I use logos and brand imagery as cultural signifiers. They reveal how identity and power is constructed in contemporary life. So I place the animals, the fashion references, and cinematic motifs to create unexpected juxtapositions that encourage everybody to question what we celebrate and consume and unconsciously accept.
I love it. And I think juxtaposition is a word that is used a lot, not only like in describing your work, but has others describe it too. And I love that you brought the idea of nostalgia too, because it really is, it taps into that nostalgia. Of course. It taps into that nostalgia. And it could be, like, I'm looking at one of them as we're talking. It's the one As Fate Would Have It. So huge, like, beautiful bald eagle. And then there's the Ping logo, which immediately makes me think of my dad. And then a Starbucks logo, which you literally cannot escape right now or ever. And then Vogue, like, it's just, even that, the juxtaposition of those different areas of business or, is so interesting. Also superimposed on this beautiful bird. It's just, it's so cool. It's just really cool. So, you also did a little pivot, which I also really like, is when you went to, and it was a very stylish turn, and you transferred your art to handbags. So that was, let's see, I'm trying to remember. And that was partnering with...
I actually, I started doing that. Well, the first thing that I did is the Long Beach Museum of Art was having a fundraiser, and they asked if I'd be interested in painting something for their, I think it was called Old Bags and Baubles.
Oh, I remember.
Fundraiser.
Yeah.
And they just said, can you donate something? And I was like, painting on leather? Like, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
I didn't, when I didn't know anything about it. I go to my art supply store and I'm like, what do I need here? Like, what's the process? I go into my art supply store and I ask the most basic questions. And I go there all the time, and I don't think anybody knows what I paint there, but I love when I get the answer that I already know, because but I get a ton of answers I have no idea about. I operate in a way that I wasn't formally educated here. And so some of my questions are just, what's the brush? What kind of brush do I need for this? How do I clean it? But I love going in there just a complete novice.
Yeah.
Even though, because I want that information. So I will embark on stuff and I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I only know I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I got my bag and I got my paint, and then I was just like, okay, what do I want to carry? What bag would I love? And then I painted this little series of I think they were finches or something.
Yeah.
And showed up, and it was under this plexiglass box, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. And so I loved doing it, and I loved having it. I love seeing it. It got some good reaction. And then I just started every once in a while to collect another bag for myself and paint on it. And I still have them, but I do love it. And when I pull one of those bags out, and I might take it out for a spin, I'm jazzed.
Oh, yeah. It is definitely, they are, and again, it's another juxtaposition. I don't think any of them have, it's all birds. There's no logos on those bags.
There's no logos. They're just birds.
But the bags themselves are the logo.
Yes, exactly.
And so she has this really amazing Balmain one. There's a Dion van Furstenberg one and a Fendi
one. Yeah.
And they're all stunning.
I think there's a Louis Vuitton one. I think that was my first one. I also have, God, I can't think of the brand, but I did this beautiful, I don't remember the brand. We'll have to
That's okay.
Fudge this part out. But
we can do that.
Yes.
But somebody owns it and loves it, and I've heard wears it absolutely everywhere. Takes it to Paris, and just it's her everyday bag, and I couldn't be more excited by that.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
You were
Go. No.
you were speaking about going into your art supply store and not knowing anything and asking a lot of questions. Did you ever think about formally getting trained by somebody in what you're doing, or you like the fact that
I love
that you don't
actually
know everything about it?
Yeah, like it might sound strange, but I actually love not knowing what to do, because I kind of enjoy the process of figuring it out. And there's something about putting that pressure on myself that I actually enjoy. So I know I'm going to figure it out. And sometimes I'll create a color that I'm like, oh man, this is great. I'm going to keep using it. And I used to write everything down, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And now I kind of like the challenge going, no, when I need to create it again, I'll use my brain for whatever I'm painting, and I'll create that then. I like figuring it out, I think.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's probably more rewarding also.
It is.
Knowing that it all came from you, but nobody helped you.
Yeah. I used to actually feel very sheepish about having not gone to art school. I used to feel kind of like, am I going to be taken seriously? Yeah. And, I'm just me. And I also live in my own, I am not social at all. And, so I live in this little bubble. I don't have a huge art community. I don't have a bunch of artist friends. So I'm in my studio all day, and it is sometimes dead quiet. And my heart is pumping, and I'm excited. And sometimes I'll go upstairs because my studio is behind my house. I'll go upstairs, and I'm like, oh my God, I am out of breath. I'm like, my adrenaline is raging. But I wouldn't know it in the moment because I'm just working furiously.
Yeah.
And it's so quiet. And maybe I'll have music on. Sure. I put a TV in there just to listen to people talking. But I'm surprised by that adrenaline. I'm so excited. And I don't even notice the quiet.
Just the rush, yeah.
And that's just, awesome. I mean, that speaks to the fact that she's doing, like, you're really embodying what you're passionate about. Doing what you love. It's also
some of the best artists in the world ever didn't have formal training. They were just very off the cuff and do it whatever they felt and just. And
to teach myself, I just copied and copied and copied what appealed to me. Yeah. Like as a kid, copied cartoons, copied art book stuff, and that's what anytime I encounter somebody who asks questions like, how do you get started? I'm like, copy exactly what you feel like, whatever you love, just try to recreate it. Yeah. Because it teaches your brain a different way of seeing things. And as a kid, we would go to museums sometimes, but one of the things my mom would take us to, we did not have money, was going to the Movieland Wax Museum, especially on a rainy day. It was right by Knott's Berry Farm. Yeah. So sometimes we'd be like, let's go to the chicken restaurant. But if it was really raining, my mom would say, oh God, let's go to the Movieland Wax Museum instead. I'm like, great. But they had kind of like fine art there. And my God, we treated that place like it was the best museum in the entire world.
That's awesome.
And I remember standing in front of these paintings going, no, there's like an accidental drop of red here. Did they mean to do it? Was it an accident? Do they care? Do they not care? And I would get really caught up in like, what was their process?
Yeah.
How the heck they left a drop of paint out of nowhere? You know, how fascinating.
I love
and that was part of my learning process.
Yeah. And you're how old when you're thinking this?
I'm like 10.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's like, I mean, that's really...
That's really advanced thinking.
Yeah.
Like looking at a paint at 10 years old, you're not looking at, usually most kids aren't looking at detail.
But I
So
love
that's
that,
awesome.
that even talking about or thinking that, is it a mistake? Do they know? And you're like digging into the mind of them too, which is a
Right.
whole nother aspect of it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love that. Talk to me about the COVID paintings. Because, I mean, honestly, you said that you started doing your art in like 94, where it was like, you knew that it was going to be a moneymaker or something you could do. So I guess in the grand scheme of it, well, it's been a minute. COVID was 2016?
No, 20.
It's a black hole of
19.
time.
I know,
19.
seriously. Was it 19?
Oh
Okay,
my
so at
God.
that point, you'd been doing it for like over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And this comes along. First of all, how did that impact you as a person, knowing that you just told us that you are an introvert of sorts? Yeah.
That's great.
And then also, how did that impact you as an artist? And how did that turn into these one-a-days?
Okay, so when we bought our property, we had a very dilapidated garage. We tore it down and I got my studio built. Just unbelievable. Never thought I'd get to do that. So during COVID, our nieces they were 20 when it started, and they had their lives. So I ended up having to give up my studio to turn it into an apartment for first one niece, and then the other one went through a big breakup. And they were living together. So my sister and her boyfriend were living downstairs, but they didn't want to be exposed to the kids who were maybe seeing other kids.
Sure.
So Monty and I turned my studio we moved all my art stuff out of the way, put a bed, put a dresser, and so I didn't have a studio anymore for quite a time. And then I went back to my basic of working at the dining room table. And I finished up the painting I was doing, but then Monty is a teacher.
Yes.
So he was home all day. Oh, God,
Yeah.
we had the best time. And so I just started to do these. First, it was just a little sketch of Monty. He was laying on the ground listening to music. I'm like, this is the stuff I've done my whole life. This is exactly what I did as a kid.
Sure.
Same style. And I'm like, this is so fun. And I'd whip it out in like 20 minutes. And it just started with that. Then I just wanted to document it. I just wanted to. I love to look into people's windows. So
Literally or figuratively or both? Okay.
Both.
Okay.
So I am always really fascinated by how people live, and
Yeah.
so Instagram is one of those windows.
Yeah.
And so of course I'm scrolling, and what I liked about doing those is it was just a little slice of life. I'm fascinated by everybody's slice of life. My number one question as a kid to anybody was, "What did you have for dinner last night?" It still is. It's still my number one curiosity.
That's so cute. Oh my God.
It's crazy. I'll like ask my niece, "So what did you guys have for dinner?" And I'm like, "What am I still doing with this
No, I
thing?"
kind of love it. That's I feel like when she asks you what you asked for dinner today, you're like, oh my God, she must like me. She must want to get to know me. Yeah.
So with the COVID stuff, one a day, that was just a diary of life.
Yeah.
And then of course my natural way of doing things started to kick in, and instead of taking 20 minutes, then it was like, they started to get more detailed.
Yeah.
Started to get really more detailed, and now sometimes I'm like, this took me a day. And then I'm like, this took me 2 days. It's the same size, but I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Just get deeper and deeper.
Do you have a favorite from that series?
Yeah, I think my favorite, this is it's a little painting of Monty in the kitchen, and he was whipping something. He was cooking something. I think he was going to make cookies. And I just did this super simple little sketch of him. I painted it just really, quick. But it absolutely captures how cute I thought he was and adorable. And when I look at it, I'm just like, yeah, that's him. This is that moment that I just love.
That's so cool. I think being able to be able to dig a little deeper into your art and your craft during a time that was so difficult, and for you to say, you said it a couple different times, to find joy in that is an achievement in itself.
It was a tough time.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I knew I was going to cough here. Sorry. That'll get cut out. I'm trying to remember my train of thought now. We were talking about one of days. Okay. So the cool thing for me, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but this part's about me. I totally am the same way. Instagram is like then and now is still my just guilty pleasure because I just want to take in all the visual pictures. And I remember during that time, because I followed her on Instagram, I followed a couple different accounts on Instagram that featured versions of this photo. And it was Grace Coddington's birthday. And if I'm remembering correctly, it was Grace Coddington's birthday thrown either at the Marc Jacobs store or Marc Jacobs was hosting the birthday party.
Right.
Either way, it was this beautiful show. And Grace Coddington, first of all, one of my favorite fashion figures, just people. She's so great. But visually, she also is such a presence with her like voluminous red hair, and it's just so copper red. And she's very interesting, and was a model and then had an accident, and so then she stopped modeling because she I think it was like a facial somewhat, right? But you can't even tell. But she's just so unique looking. So it's this picture of this huge cake with tons of candles, and it's this beautiful light, and it's her with all of her hair, and it's just the coolest picture. And then I remember scrolling and seeing probably that same day the same picture, but Lori's watercolor, and I remember gasping, just going, oh, I have to have that. I have to have that. Oh my God, I have to have that. And so, and of course I furiously texted Lori and was like, oh my God, I have to have that. Please tell me how much it is. And I remember getting it and hanging on to it for a minute, not framing it or anything, because I really was like, this is kind of my first piece of like real artwork. Oh. Like this is a real piece. This isn't like a print. I mean, or something that I picked up at IKEA or something. And I remember framing it and just thinking, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like this is something that I will give to Ellie, like that she will, can appreciate. And so that's why I love that we have in here, because it's just such a great piece. And it is that little slice of, and it's copying the things that you love.
Yes,
like it's the perfect representation of that, which is so cool. I love it. So kind of shifting from that, which those, of course, like you said, brought you so much joy. You came about this next project kind of in the midst of like a really horrible situation, which was the Palisades and the Altadena fires. How did you come upon this project, or decide to do this project, I guess?
Even when I saw it, I just, oh God, home is everything to me. And I really thought, oh my God, what would I do? I mean, it just felt terribly helpless. And I saw other people saying, oh, I'm going to donate, X amount of money to this thing or that. And I'm like, well, I'm not in the position to do that at all. Or trying to sell prints to donate that. And I'm like, I can't make a dent here in that way. But also when I was a kid, I always sat in front of my house and drew the house across the street from me. Constantly. I probably had like 50 drawings of the house across the street.
Oh, wow.
And it was always different. But that energy kicked in, and I just thought, I wanted to help so badly, but I didn't know how. And I just thought, God, these are beautiful houses. There's no way I can't paint these houses.
Yeah.
And kind of still going back to what I've always done is, used to always make homemade cards. And my God, even when I was in high school, like this is such an elementary school thing to do, but I would draw pictures and like come to school like, here's a picture that I drew. It's of you, or it's whatever it is. And I mean, there was part of me that was like, I'm probably too old to be doing this, but it brings me joy and it brings them joy. So I was just like, I'm gonna gift these. I'm gonna reach out, and I'm gonna paint them. I want them to tell me what they want, and I want to give it to them. But even if they don't know, I go on Instagram, and I will even look for the hashtag Eat Fire, Palisades Fire, and I will snap those pictures and I'll paint it, and then I'll maybe post it and I'll tag them, or I'll just send them a message. Please, if you're comfortable to send me an address, address, I'd love to give you this gift. Just, it means a ton to me.
Sure.
And I know, because it would be so meaningful to me, it's meaningful to everybody. We're all the same. So that's what I've done, and I'm still working on it. I still have I still have a lot more that I'd like to do. But I have gotten the most beautiful messages.
Sure.
I cried when I opened it. I cannot believe this, and I've cried.
Yeah,
I've cried.
We cried too.
Oh my gosh, it was
Our friends.
Yeah. Well, and so when I saw you doing this on Instagram, I was like, oh, cool. And where I work, we saw a direct, literally the same week, we saw the increase of people, or the percentage of people that came in to replace things that they had lost, was probably 90% of who came in our doors. And so I had the honor, I guess, and there's a lot of emotion that goes with that, of people hearing people's stories. And then I heard yours, and I was like, okay, well, I can't waste this potential to, and I met so many cool people through that too. So I would say, hey, if you're open to this, I have this really wonderful friend, and I would take my phone out and I would show them the examples of your work. And I would say, she's doing this, service. It's, it doesn't cost anything. She just wants to do this so that you have this as a memory. And not one person said no. I mean, because why would you? I mean, I understand it can be a difficult thing to think about that or to see it. But a lot of people too said, well, I'd love to, but I don't have any pictures in my house. Like, I don't have anything. So it would be, I'll send her a picture that's on my phone, or Zillow listings or whatever. And it was so cool to see the impact that you had made. And I still have people come in and talk about you and say like, oh my gosh, she sent me the picture and it's like so amazing and I love it and it looks exactly like I remember it, and they cry and laugh, and it's really beautiful. The one that absolutely kills me every time is our friend Eli's aunt and uncle. And that was the one that you did, that they lost their home in the Eaton fire. And we did it kind of as, it was a surprise, essentially. We didn't tell them. I had just asked her like, oh my gosh, send me a picture of your of your mom or your aunt and uncle in front of the house if you have one, or a picture. And we pulled the picture from Zillow.
Yeah.
And Eli told me later on, I think I may have mentioned this to you as you were painting it or in the process, that her uncle had created the chimney. He built it himself, but he had created it with rubble from
earthquake.
Yeah. Which one was it?
Incredible.
Was it the Northridge?
Northridge
earthquake. And I thought, my God, to be able to survive that, use the remnants of this tragedy to build again, and then to have that lost is like, truly a practice in strength, and I don't know what else.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And so I remember and Lori would send kind of, when she was finished, she would send, and I just remember, so the picture she sent of her aunt and uncle was this adorable picture of them essentially like in front of their pool, but you can see the house in the background. And they're both such fun, unique,
they're great people,
cool people, and you can just see that in the picture, right? And I remember she said, I sent you the picture, and I thought, I'm so nervous, scared, excited.
That's how I felt.
And I remember opening it and thinking, it's better than the picture.
Oh.
Like, she's captured everything. She's captured their spirit. She's captured, like, absolutely everything. And so I sent it to Ely, and she had said, oh, just so you know, too, the picture, or the part of the house that's behind them is actually my uncle's art studio, or his carpentry studio. And, they're wearing their favorite outfits or something like that. I don't remember, but it was just so special, like, to have that, and then giving those to them was next level. Like, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Yeah. So it was really cool. So to be able to kind of, just me being the outside looking in person at the process, I'm so grateful that, like, I got to kind of see that, because it was great. It was great.
I have a whole card catalog of all that I've done, and and some that are in the process. But I have a Randi's list.
I love that. That makes me happy. Well, and like I said, people will mention all the time. And one of my favorite people that I've interacted with at work is a gal who, like, she's another person that I want to get on here, because she is a hoot and a half. Lori Ehrenberg, who was the interior designer and designed her whole house and had the pink bathroom.
Oh, my
incredible.
God.
So incredible. But she raves every time I see her, just talks about how great the pictures are. So, what's the future of this project? Because I feel like there were little whispers and maybe this and maybe that. What's can you tell us?
Well, I'm hoping there's Ron Nelson, who's the director of the Long Beach Museum, reached out to me.
Sidebar, the Long Beach Museum of Art, first of all, is an incredible museum, but they love Lori Lamont so freaking much, and I love that.
I love
like
them.
You have a really long, deep relationship with them.
Yeah. So side note.
Yes.
I didn't know about the Long Beach Museum of Art until my 20s. And I was like, well, where have you been all my life?
Right.
And then before they built their big gallery, I remember I wandered into the museum with Monty, and there was an artist doing an artist talk. And I had no idea what was going on. I was like, oh, I'm going to follow this group. And she was just talking about her paintings that were being exhibited. And I just thought, my God, how does she know how to talk about this?
Yeah.
And geez, this is what I want to be here. This is what I want. I want to show in this museum. And I want to take a little tour of folks, and I want to talk about it. I'm not great at talking about it, but I knew I wanted to do it. And then, like, fast forward, I have this beautiful relationship with the museum, and I've had exhibits there, and I do fundraising events. Nice. And so that's my sidebar, but
I love it.
Really do pinch myself.
That's so cool. So anyway, projects. Projects.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes. What that's looking like.
So the director reached out to me when I first started this project, and he said, this is something, and this was, I maybe had done 5. I just tried to reach out to people on Instagram to try to get the word out. This is what I really want to do. Please allow me to give you this gift. Yeah. And he said, I love what you're doing, and I'd like to talk to you about doing an exhibit and maybe publishing a book.
So cool.
So we'll see where it goes. I don't know for sure. Nothing is guaranteed. I know that. Yeah. But that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, that would be so, yeah, that would be amazing. Because can you imagine, like, being, because all these communities are, trying to rebuild, and some people,
make choices to not, and that's of course up to everybody. But being able to see like your house, beautiful picture of your house, like in a gallery or in a book, like to have for forever.
I know. It's so special.
It's really special.
And I think when you see something that's so near and dear to yourself, to your heart, in a painting or piece of art, it captures the emotion of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a snapshot. That's one of the things I love about doing it is it gives me immediate gratification because my large scale pieces take me a really long time to do. So I'm getting to see what I created pretty much that day.
Yeah.
But I'm also practicing not being so precise. I'm actually teaching myself, like, a lot of people think my large scale watercolors are spray painted or what is that?
Airbrush. Yeah.
But I do everything with a brush, water
Amazing.
and paintbrushes. So this being able to do these sketches is also it's an exercise for myself too.
Yeah.
I don't need to be so serious. I don't need to. This is easy. I actually find it kind of hard.
Oh,
Sorry.
No.
is it okay?
I pressed normal. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. You said you find it easy.
I find it gratifying because I'm teaching myself that I can do things looser. Perfection is the thing that sits on my shoulder, and so doing these is a lesson in. Actually, I don't want it to be perfect. I like to see the artist's hands. I like to see where it paused in a line.
Yeah.
And so I'm on that learning expedition.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I can see this. I mean, obviously I don't have a say in the matter, but I could totally see this happening. This could be huge. Like, it would be really great.
I'd love for it to be.
And if anyone's listening, like, that can help make it happen, go do it now. Help Lori.
Run, don't walk.
Yeah, run, don't walk.
Exactly. Okay, so now I just want to transition to just a quick fire little bit just about overarching style. So, like, in general, like, you have such cool, like, you are the quintessential, like, Southern California beach, Belmont Shore beach girl, but like the cool beach girl. Like, she pulls up and she's getting out of the car and she's, of course, like Lori and excited and like has this such great energy. But I look down at her feet and she's wearing these amazing like wool platform sandals with this big buckle. I'm like, of course, like, she's so cool, and her corduroy blade, like, just so cool. What defined your style, like, and your taste growing up, and did it mimic what you did in your art?
I think it does. I can remember being 3 years old and I knew exactly what I liked. And I have a twin sister.
Yes.
And so I think part of me knowing what I like is because I have played it off with my twin sister because we want our own identities.
Yeah.
And she's very loud, colorful, gregarious, super social. And I am totally not that at all. And I remember, it sounds silly, but I remember our third birthday, and I was wearing this super little, like, cute beige and brown striped dress, and I thought, this is like Buffy from Buffy and Jody. This is like All in the Family. This is like, I love the good girl look. I love that good girl style in a certain way with a little edge. So I knew what I always liked, and I remember poring over the Sound of Music album cover, and they were all wearing these what looked like white ballet slippers, and I was like, oh my God, I would gaze at those slippers.
I love
for an hour, and like, this is the life I want. I want to be a Von Trapp.
I want to be in the hills.
Totally. So I still have that same sense of style that I knew when I was young.
Yeah.
Obviously it's evolved.
Yeah.
But it's my same sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Which is even like, I love a white t-shirt and pair of jeans.
Yeah.
But I like a blazer too, and I like unfussy. I'm kind of boyish. I feel I'm kind of a super feminine personality.
Yeah.
But I don't like to wear ruffles, and I like the boyish masculine kind of style.
Yeah.
I lived in New York for a short time in my early 20s. And when I first moved there, I was wearing like yellow and pink and faded jeans because it was the 80s. And everybody was wearing black. I was like, this is a lesson for me.
People are like, she's not from here.
Right? And I worked in a restaurant, and then I backpacked across Europe.
Oh, wow.
For like 3 months. And when I came back to New York, I got a job at Saks Fifth Avenue. And like I had my client book, and I got a lesson in style.
Yeah.
But it informed what I already knew I loved.
Sure.
So I love that California laid back sort of surfer look.
Yes.
With a little bit of New York, a little bit of France.
A little edge.
Yeah, a little edge, a little tight.
Yeah. I love it. Well, one of my favorite t-shirts, and I feel like you've worn it in a couple photos, is that J. Crew. I mean, I remember it. And it says, what does it say? It says, je t'aime something. Something French. I know that. Or something.
Is it a white with a blue?
Yes.
It says, je t'aime LA.
Yes.
Is it that one?
Oh, that's a different one. There's one that's navy or black with white writing.
You're right.
Yeah.
That is, it's my Instagram picture, and it is, now I'm drawing a blank, but it is Seize the Day. It's in Italian for Seize the Day.
You're right. It is Seize the Day. Yes. And I think to myself, when I see that picture, that's like quintessentially you. But then today is also quintessentially you. And it's that laid back, throw a little graphic tee on, throw a little jacket over because, dress it up a tiny bit. Like exactly what you said. It's all those little aspects put together, and it makes it so cool.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
Who inspires you? Do you have like could you, like you said, you're a collager. Do you have like designers or people that inspire you in your art, first of all?
Let's see. Let me look at my notes because I do have a list. Of course, I don't have my glasses. Oh, I just had eye surgery, and I'm in between glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so there's this artist named Matthew Brannan, and he showed it at the Kordansky Gallery a few years ago, and he does collage work. Actually, I didn't realize it was collage work when I saw it. I was blown away. It's all nostalgic stuff put together in a really modern way. Like might be like the cockpit of a plane, and you see, I can hardly describe it. It's super graphic, just pared down in a certain way that just speaks to me.
Yeah.
So I love his work. Let's see, there's somebody else. I'm not really a big watercolor fan.
Yes.
But I love Walton Ford. He does huge scale, kind of like nature at its worst, touched by the human hand, like maybe like animals who've taken over somebody's villa, or some weird monkey murders. I'm sorry. Really weird folk tales. And then there's also this artist, and I am smitten every time I come across it, Richard DuPont, and he does
Sounds familiar.
Really large, like 40 by 60, same as me, watercolor, and they're usually like scenes from nature, which is not my thing.
Yeah.
But when I see his, it stops me in my tracks.
Oh,
Totally
love it.
stops me in my tracks. I've always been inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe.
Sure.
That was my first one, and I still kind of carry on that inspiration. I do a lot of line work with colors. So I think about her every day.
Yeah. I love that. What about fashion? We'll get back to dress.
Okay, I'm movie obsessed, and I always have, raised on TV and cinema.
Yes.
So that is my biggest inspiration. But Numero 21 is probably my favorite. It's an Italian house, and Alessandro. Let's see. Hold on, I have to do that sentence. Alessandro Dell'Acqua.
I was just gonna. I almost said it, but I was like, I don't want to.
Oh my God.
Answer for her. Beautiful.
I want to say, like, I am a numero 21 girl.
Yeah.
If I could, that's a vibe.
Yeah.
I just like that makes my heart absolutely pump. They might, have a little bit of a beehive. And probably smoke cigarettes. Which I'm not a smoker. I've never even smoked. But I look at these girls and I'm like, this is the perfect blend of just some girl who doesn't really care.
Yeah.
But she just has a style.
It looks
She's got,
so
the
cool.
vibe is untouchable.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. What about music? Like if you're in your studio and you're adrenaline going, you're moving and grooving and you're producing and creating, what are you listening to?
I listen mostly to jazz and jazz vocals. But I might put on some easy, yacht music.
Yes.
Nice. One of our favorite.
Oh,
Yes,
God, yeah,
exactly.
me too. A song comes on and I stop everything and I just have to belt it out.
Yeah. Same here.
But I never really grasped. I can never really click into the whole music scene. Like in high school, everybody would be standing in circles talking about music and bands. And I was like, how do they do it? I don't know how they know what they know. So I've always been completely out of the loop. I love almost everything. I know almost nothing. And like, I'll be like to Monty, I'm like, is this Led Zeppelin? I'm like, my God, I should know this. But I do listen to jazz mostly. But I pretty much, I'll go down and listen to like really classic country music. 80s,
Yes.
70s, rock and roll.
Yeah.
I don't really, if I have music on too much, I start to get distracted.
Sure.
Like I start singing. And so what I end up doing is listening to the same stuff over and over again. So I need to have it in the background.
Yeah. Got you. Okay. How about when you, like, I know when Monty came in to drop you off and went and got coffee. Okay, where are you going? Like, what's inspiring you in your area, like in terms of food or drink or coffee? Like, what's your go-to?
Okay, well, let's see. Love a good diner. Oh, how I do.
That's Frank. Oh my God, that is Frank.
That's why I love New York so much.
Yes.
It's hard to find a great diner out here, but when you find one, it's like, oh my
it's so
God,
true.
so good.
So we've been going to Chuck's a lot lately. It's down the street from our house, and it's been there forever. But Monty and I do what we call a ramble. So we walk like a Saturday or Sunday. God help me! And during summer break, we do it way too much. But we'll get out on foot and we'll start with coffee. Like, let's go to some place we've never been. This is our town, and we drive by a million places that we've never even looked twice at.
Yeah.
So the whole goal is to like just try new things. So we might start off like, oh, let's go to this coffee place. Let's see what their coffee's like, and then we might stop by a diner, or like it could be something hole in the wall, really cheap. Or like, oh, this is really fancy. Let's try it.
fancy.
And we might mix it up all day. We'll go like for 2 lunches, a breakfast. We might hit 2 or 3.
Cool.
Get a couple of cocktails.
I love it.
And like we've been out sometimes a day in our own hometown. It is like 10 and a half miles. And we have eaten.
That you've walked?
And drunk all day long.
So fun.
Yeah. So a good diner.
Drinking all day is good.
Day drinking is
And then you get home and you're like,
acceptable.
I just feel great. And then you go for a little nap.
Yes.
But there's a new restaurant that opened up on 4th Street called Du Fiore that I'm a little bit obsessed with right now.
Okay.
And they have it's beautiful. You just order at the counter, but it's all gorgeous. You just almost feel like you're walking into this gorgeous, maybe old school lobby. And then they have this garden patio in the back and gorgeous dishes, just artistic.
Is this the one that Corey and Lindsay were talking about? Is this the one that's owned by the people that own the cute cocktail bar?
Yes. Yes,
Stop
it is. It is.
So that's reference number 2 for Du Fiore and what is the cocktail bar called?
God,
Max.
What?
Max and I can't remember.
I can't
thought
either.
It was Max and
It's like something silly
we
or
went
like
there.
very lighthearted. But
It
anyway, I'll
is.
think of it. That's so funny. Okay, that's
Yeah.
yes. I've heard massively good things about that place.
And
so you're
even when you
reinforcing.
walk in, everyone's like, oh, I am so happy to see you here. And we're like,
Love that.
That's what they
oh,
said, too.
thank you.
Yeah,
They said
yeah,
it's
just
very
very welcoming.
welcoming.
Yeah. And it's just gorgeous. And the
cool.
food. I'm not necessarily somebody who would go for like maybe a slushy drink, but they have these slushy drinks. Oh God, help me. They're delicious.
I'm down for a slushy drink.
Oh
that's
yeah,
for sure.
I discovered that I am now too.
Yeah, she's into it. Okay, coffee. Where since you're a coffee girl, where are you getting coffee? Like, what's your?
I go down to Second Street every day, and I've been getting coffee every day. I'm not proud to say a lot of it's been Starbucks.
It's. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. But now there's a restaurant. Oh gosh, what is it called? It's on Second Street. It's the new Italian place on the corner. They just started doing coffee service, and I can't think of their name.
Oh, I don't know.
But
We'll insert the name after.
Insert
Insert name
after.
here.
Baby G.
Baby
G is
Baby
the
G.
cocktail bar that's owned by DuFiore.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Same owners. Okay. Sorry.
and they have a little popcorn machine, so you're drinking, you're like nibbling the whole
On your
time,
popcorn.
and
Oh,
looking at all the
nice.
funky art in there.
Yes.
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
for sure.
Gotta check it out.
I know, right? And Long Beach is, living in LA, like there's so much to do here. But having lived in Long Beach, it's its own little hub.
Yeah.
It's its own little community. It's there's so many great places just that you could stay
God,
there
yeah.
forever and not leave Long Beach and still be getting all your fixes with food and drink and art and
There's
culture.
so much.
Yeah. It's a
Steelhead
great area.
Coffee is a place that
That's
I
a
really
great
like to go
place.
to. It's really cute.
Yes.
and
agreed.
pretty good coffee. But yeah, every day is a morning walk,
Uh-huh.
coffee, and anyway, this place on the corner, this Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
They just started doing coffee service, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you really feel like
it
you're
out.
part of this sort of like lovely culture.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fun. That's so fun. Well, I think at the end of every episode that we've done
Yeah.
so far, I'm always just so excited for the conversation that we have. And it's never enough
Yeah.
time.
Oh, of course.
And I always say like, okay, well, there's 1,000 things I didn't get to. So we are going to have to do a second episode for sure.
I would love to.
And I feel like it's going to be, the second episode is going to be when the book comes out or when the exhibition happens.
Yes,
I
that'll be
feel
great.
Fingers crossed.
it.
We're gonna manifest that.
Let's do that.
Manifesting,
Yeah.
baby.
For sure.
Yes.
Put it on the world.
Exactly. Exactly. So thank you for taking it. Have you done a podcast before?
No, never.
Really? And I'm not trying to put your business out there, but I know when Lori and I had talked over email and stuff, she was like a little nervous and I trip over my words.
Oh,
and I
I
was
do?
like, no, you're going to be good. You're like,
Did great.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And also have like a voice for podcasts, like, and it was great. Like it was so fun listening to your stories and
Thank you.
background and you did amazing.
Thank
Of
you for
course, I'm
having
not
me.
surprised.
I
Of
was
course.
excited as hell.
You were
That's good.
one of my very first. I was
Yeah.
like, I know exactly who I want. I have to have Lori.
She let me know.
Yes, that's true.
One of the first episodes we're gonna do.
Oh,
It's gonna be,
wow.
yeah.
Well, I'm very honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Well,
for
and I'm
coming.
excited now that we'll have another one and we'll be able to follow up with you on all your projects and
Good.
everything. So, how are people going to find you? If people are interested in purchasing your work, or connecting with you in some way, or if they've lost their house, for example, and they're really interested in having you paint it, how can they get in touch with you?
I have a website, and it's just my name. It's LoriLamont.com. It's www.lorilamont.com.
Okay.
But Instagram is probably the best way.
Yeah.
I've got my website on there. It's just my name, Lori Lamont 1.
Okay.
But the
Lori
number
Lamont
one.
Number one, because she's number one. Number one in our hearts. Yes.
I
of
was
course.
actually number 2 because there is a Lori Lamont out there and she doesn't really use her Instagram. So I'm Lori Lamont 1, which makes me 2.
Wait, what?
So yeah.
Oh, because there's 2 Lori Lamont.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, you're the more
We'll
active
edit that
one,
one.
and you're still number 1.
You're number 1
Sorry, other Lori Lamont. I'm
Sorry,
sure you're
Lori
a super
Lamont.
great lady.
with your 3 posts.
Yes, I actually sent her a message like, "Hi, would you be really? I see that you don't really use Instagram. Would you be interested in letting me have just my name?" I never heard back because she doesn't use Instagram.
She has 1,000 DMs.
Totally. Hi, it's me again.
Unread messages. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they can get. That's the best. Instagram's the best. Lori Lamont, number 1 on Instagram. And are you showing anywhere in the near future? I know you just did the auction for Long Beach Museum of Art.
I'm not showing anywhere right now.
Okay.
Would love gallery representation.
Oh, excuse me. Let's go. Come
Hi.
on. Hi.
But I'm working on my series, and I'm just working to make it exactly what I want it to be. And I'll get myself out there and push myself out and see
Okay.
what I can accomplish for myself.
I love it. No, but this, who knows? If something comes of this in terms of representation, that would be really cool.
Wouldn't that?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would love it.
Yay. Okay, we're throwing that out into the universe as well.
Yep.
We're going to manifest that too. So thank you again,
Thank
Lori.
you, Lori.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
so much and appreciate everything that you're doing. That you're the resounding thing that I got from this is like Lori is living in her joy. And I'm a firm believer that happiness is very different than joy. Happiness is an emotion. Joy is a complete way of living. And Lori is very obviously doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And that what the world needs her to do as well. And the fact that she is finding joy in that is like, she's done it. She's unlocked the code, which is great. So
She's known since the
3rd grade?
3rd grade.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
love
awesome.
I love that. That's so cool. So thank you again, Lori, for coming on.
Thank you
Appreciate
so much for having me.
Of course.
And our dogs thank you too. They love you too.
I love them too.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I hope that everyone will tune in for the next episode. And until then, we want you guys to remember style. Everything's adjacent. Thanks, you guys.
We're going to begin to do something that is comprehensive